In the archives of human mythology, few creatures have haunted our collective imagination quite like vampires. Tonight, we delve into a chilling case study that bridges historical fact and supernatural legend, a chilling investigation into Count Orlok, better known as Nosferatu. Our journey begins in the blood-soaked landscapes of medieval Europe, where folklore and fear intertwined to give birth to a legend that would transcend generations. The word Nosferatu itself originates from the Romanian Nosferat, meaning undead or impure. But this is far more than just another vampire tale. This is a descent into a nightmare that blurs the boundaries between historical fact and supernatural terror. Our investigation reveals the origins of Nosferatu can be traced back to the real-world inspirations that shaped this terrifying archetype. Historical records speak of Vlad the Impaler, a 15th-century prince who subscribed to brutal methods of execution, which became the stuff of legend. His practice of impaling enemies and drinking wine amid forests of dying victims created a mythology far more horrifying than any fictional account. In 1922, German filmmaker Murnau would forever cement the visual iconography of Nosferatu in his groundbreaking silent film. In the films, Nosferatu has power to command rats and spread plague. Horrifically in Bremen, citizens reported swarms of rats emerging from the shadows of a docked merchant ship, preceding a devastating outbreak that claimed hundreds of lives. Perhaps most chilling is Nosferatu's ability to manipulate shadows themselves. Unlike traditional vampires who merely avoid sunlight, Nosferatu extends his influence through darkness itself. We see shadows moving against the light, stretching impossibly across rooms to extinguish candles and lanterns. His very presence distorts natural law. Plants wither, animals fall silent, and time itself seems to slow in his vicinity. Most disturbing is his power of psychic dominance. Victims report feeling his presence long before any physical encounter, experiencing increasingly vivid nightmares that correspond to lunar cycles. This culminates in a state of waking sleep, where victims become powerless to resist his will, yet remain terrifyingly aware of their actions. Actor Max Schreck's portrayal of Count Orlok was so unsettling that film crew members believed he was not acting, but manifesting something paranormal. Some claimed he moved with an unnatural, predatory grace that defied human movement, and that he possessed genuine supernatural abilities. In the films, Nosferatu is seen scaling vertical walls without visible means of support. The footage itself shows movements that defy human physiology, recorded decades before special effects could explain such phenomena. The film crew also reported unnerving events behind the scenes, such as unexplained cold spots on set and multiple equipment malfunctions. Rational explanations suggest these were merely the techniques of a dedicated method actor. But in the whispered corners of film history, another narrative persists, that Schreck had become something else. Contemporary media has transformed Nosferatu from a literal monster to a complex metaphorical construct. Films like Shadow of the Vampire directly interrogate the mythology and mystique surrounding Murnau's original film, suggesting a narrative where the vampire was based on real historical accounts. Scholarly analysis reveals deeper symbolic meanings. The vampire represents more than a supernatural predator. It is an allegory for societal parasitism, fear of disease, and humanity's fundamental aversion to all things paranormal. Authors like Anne Rice of The Vampire Chronicles and filmmakers like Francis Ford Coppola of Dracula continue to reinterpret this archetype, with Nosferatu serving as a primal, archetypal inspiration. Modern vampire narratives frequently employ Nosferatu's visual and thematic elements: the pale, elongated features, uncontrolled hunger, the sense of psychic dread, and the fear of shadowy strangers. These representations transcend mere folk tales, becoming complex explorations of genuine and ancient human fears. In every culture, there appears to be creatures resembling vampires and Nosferatu, predatory spirits or beasts that feed not just on blood, but on human fear itself. Why is it that such a strange creature appears in so many stories from different cultures? As our investigation concludes, we're left with profound, unsettling questions. Is Nosferatu a mere movie monster? Or does something more sinister lurk beneath the surface of our understanding? The persistent mythology of vampires, the unexplained accounts of film crew members, the continuous cultural reimaginings, all suggest a phenomenon that refuses complete explanation. Will the light of truth ever really be shown on the vampire myth and the paranormal accounts surrounding their origins? As you sit in the perceived safety of your surroundings, consider this. What if the most terrifying creatures are not those confined to history or film, but those waiting just beyond our natural sight?